Hi kids! Welcome to Science 4. For today's lesson, we're going to describe what happens to the solid materials when heated or cooled. Come on, let's have fun while learning. To start with, kindly get your paper and pen and answer the following. Please read each item carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer. I'll give you 1 minute to answer. Go. It's time for you to check your own answers. Be honest, kids. So for number 1, the correct answer is letter B. The, the clay changed its size and shape. For number 2, the correct answer is letter C. Materials may change their size and shape, but there's no new materials are formed. For number 3, the correct answer is letter C. Scissors. Number 4, the answer is letter D. That's right, it is all of the above. And lastly, the answer is, you're right, it is letter D, hammer. Please count the number of checks. I do hope you got a perfect score. Good job, kids! Based on your experience, what happens to candle when you heat it? Very good. How about if you put an ice cube in a glass of iced tea? What happened to it? That's right. To understand better our lesson, kindly do this activity. It was entitled, What Happens to Solid Materials When Heated or Cooled? So for group 1, you're going to use a spoon, or metal spoon rather, candle, matchstick, and a margarine. For group 2, ice cube and a glass. For group 3, you're going also to use metal spoon, candle, and a crayon. Of course, matchstick. And lastly, for group 4, you're going to use chocolate chips. Okay, you also use metal spoon, candle, and matchstick. So, while doing this activity, please observe the physical state of the material before you're going to heat it. And then you're going to write down the changes to the materials when it was heated. And lastly, you're going to describe the materials when cooled. Alright, so for group 2, you just observe what will happen to the ice cubes. Okay, so are you ready? You may begin. Okay, for group 1, if you don't have the materials with you, please watch and observe this simple video so that you can answer your task. Okay? And for group 2, 3, and 4, you can also use this video if you don't have the materials with you. Please watch and observe carefully, okay? And now, it's time for you to present your work. Let's check your answers. Okay, for group 1, what is the physical state of the material? Very good, it is solid. What are the changes to the materials when heated? That's right, it became liquid. Can you describe what happens to the materials when cold? Very good. When cold, the temperature decreases and the margarine turns to solid again. What about for group 2? What happened to the ice, or what is the physical state of the ice? Correct, it is also solid. So, what happened to the materials when heated, when you remove it into the refrigerator? Very good, it also turns to liquid. Can you describe the materials when cold? Very good. So when cold, the temperature decreased, but then it is still in liquid state. Unless you're going to return it into the refrigerator or into the freezer, it will turn to solid. Okay, so for group 3, what is the state of the material, or physical state rather? You're right, it is also solid. What is the changes to materials when heated? Very good. It turns to liquid. Kindly describe the materials when cold. You're right. When cold, the temperature decreases and it also turns into solid. And lastly, group 4. What is the physical state of the material or the chocolate chips? You're right. It is also solid. What is the changes to materials when heated? Correct. It also turns to liquid. Kindly describe the materials when cold. Very good. So when cold, temperature always decrease. Okay. But then, as you can see, the chocolate chips and the separate bowl or platter, it also moistened because of the temperature in the environment or into the surroundings. Okay. Is it clear, class? Very good. So when we say heat, it is the quality of being hot or high temperature. It is added or external energy that causes a rise in temperature, expansion, evaporation, or other physical change. So that causes why the objects, okay, change its temperature. When we say temperature, it is the degree or intensity of heat present a substance or object, especially as expressed according to comparative scale and shown by a thermometer or perceived by touch. For example, that the cold weather, we can identify whether it is cold or hot, right? Because of its temperature. Aside from that, if we have fever, you can perceive it by touch, but it is more accurate if you're going to use a thermometer. Based on your activity, what happened to the material when they are heated? Correct. When the material is heated, its temperature increased. What happened to the material when they are cold? You're right. When the material is cold, its temperature decreased. When the materials are cooled and heated, their size, shape, and texture and form will differ. Now, can you cite an examples of everyday situations showing that when the materials are exposed to temperature, the material may change their size, shape, texture, and form? Very good, kids. Here are the things that you should remember. When the materials are heated, they change their size, shape, and texture. They change their forms. Aside from that, when heated, the solid materials are changed to liquid. When cooled, the liquid materials are changed to solid. Lastly, the material changes its size. As you can see in the feature or in your activity, that it expands when heated and contracts when cooled. Remember all those, kids? To find out if you really understood our lesson, please get your notebook and answer this. Okay, given the following materials, study what will happen to these materials when heated or cold. You will underline the correct word or words that will describe each statement. Okay, so you will write it on your notebook. I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. You may now start. Let's check your answers. For number 1, the crayon when heated, it become melted. Okay. For number 2, the chocolate when heated, it also melted. For number 3, the margarine when heated, also melted. For number 4, when the crayon was heated, there was a change in, of course, in all forms. So we have the size, shape, and texture. Okay, and number 5, when the chocolate was heated, there was a change in, alright, all forms also. Okay, so please count the number of checks. I do hope you got a perfect score for this. Okay, good job, kids. And for your assignment, here is the situation wherein you're going to answer the question. Okay, you will write it in your science notebook. Your father wants to prepare a coffee. If you are the one who will prepare it, what will you use to dissolve coffee powder and sugar faster? Will you use cold water or hot water? Why? Okay, you must reason it out. Okay, that's all, kids. Thank you, kids, for watching and listening. Stay safe, everyone. See you again next time. Bye.